Hello and welcome to this introduction to the MSc in Creative Industries and Cultural Policy here at the University of Glasgow. My name is Dr Katherine Champion. I'm Programme Convener for the Master's Programme and also a Senior Lecturer in Creative Industries and Cultural Policy within the School of Culture and Creative Arts here within the University of Glasgow. Within this presentation, I'll give you a brief introduction to myself and then also take you through what you would expect and some of the benefits of studying on this programme. In terms of the Master's programme itself, the MSc in Creative Industries and Cultural Policy is very interdisciplinary. And what we hope is that during the programme, you'll build your understanding of both the commercial but also the cultural and policy environment within which creative industries and different types of cultural organisations and enterprises operate. We also hope that you'll develop your analytical skills and your sector-specific knowledge and benefit from an academically rigorous experience to allow you to go into the world of work with an array of tools to take into the sector or to continue on into academic research in the field. There's a huge wealth of opportunities open to you. So why choose this programme? Well, we're very much an academic programme. As I mentioned before, we're very academically rigorous in how we approach the study. So you'll develop a critical eye towards the sector, towards work in the sector, towards how the sector is organised structurally. As I mentioned, we're very interdisciplinary, intercultural, and also have a very much an international curriculum design, really exploring some of the processes shaping the sector and decisions made in it from those different global perspectives. We have international staff informing that, so we learn from examples from all over the globe. And we don't just learn from academic staff as well. We're very much an industry-facing course in terms of getting expertise from industry and policy to help inform the design of our programs and also how the actual content that's delivered. So you will hear from people working at the crux of some of the theoretical issues you'll be discussing. You will have hands-on research training throughout the year that you'll be undertaking the degree, and you'll take that forward in order to develop an independent project in terms of your dissertation, which you can really tailor-make to suit your own research interests. And we'll talk about that in just a moment as well. And we have really strong employability and careers advice to set you on that path to develop the role that you want to within the creative and cultural industries or within the cultural policy sector. So just to give you a little bit more information about the choreography of the course and what you would expect to learn in different semesters, we have core courses and options courses, which allows you to develop very much a tailor-made programme to suit your interests. So within the first semester, the emphasis is on the core courses to really provide you with that foundation, to introduce you to some of the key concepts and theoretical perspectives, and to start building that research methods training as well. So we have a core course in creative industries and cultural policy to, as I say, introduce you to those foundational concepts and key literatures. We also have a research methods module, which will bridge semester 1 and semester 2, so you can build your skills over that period of time. And then you also have the opportunity to take 2 courses from the internationally recognised Adam Smith Business School in managing innovation and creativity, and also in project management. And this will allow you to develop some very practical skills that you can take into the industry, but also give an understanding of how work is carried out within the sector and how these ideas are developed. In semester 2, again, we have a number of core courses. So we have Creative Lives and Cultural Industries, which allows you to develop a real deep understanding of work within the creative industry sector, and also the development of policy workshops within this module as well, which gives you but particularly by the use of some key expert guest lecturers that we get in to speak to you, a sense of how policy is conceived of, developed, what some of the tensions are around that as well. As I mentioned on the last slide, we also have research methods, which bridges that second semester so that you can be constantly refining and developing your skills. And this will introduce you to, some textual approaches and theoretical approaches and framings, but also some really practical empirical research skills. So things like ethnography, carrying out qualitative data collection like interviews and so on. So developing those skills from very early on, but keeping them in mind throughout the whole programme. And semester 2 also offers you a really wide range of options. And I think this is one of the key benefits of this master's programme, that you can really develop a tailor-made master's that takes you to your specific research interests, both through that setting up of options that appeal to you most, and then taking that forward into the dissertation within the third semester. So as I said, a really large range of options courses available here. So some of these are offered through the School of Culture and Creative Arts, within which the programme is based. You also have the opportunity to take options from outside of the School of Culture and Creative Arts. So there is intellectual property law, which intellectual property is a key concern within the cultural industries, with many definitions around them, being that the ability to exploit intellectual property being a key part of generating revenue within the sector. So if that is something that interests you, you can develop specialist understanding there. And the option module there is very much tailored to the cultural sector, so very relevant to this master's degree. And again, as with semester 1, the opportunity to undertake some further modules from the Adam Smith Business School. So you can think about internationalisation of small to medium-sized enterprises and managing diversity in organisations. So you can see again how relevant that might be, particularly if you're interested in more of the management and business side of the sector. So lots for you to think about if you're thinking about applying, of how you might build that programme that really suits your particular interests. Just a word about teaching format and assessment methods. Each course lasts about 10 weeks, so those semesters are around about 10 weeks, and you will have lectures, seminars, you will have guest lectures, as I mentioned before, with industry specialists, with policy experts, as well as a range of academic staff. You'll have tutorials, you'll have the opportunity to meet staff on a one-to-one basis, for example, through the dissertation supervision. You will carry out group work, presentations, and there'll be the provision of academic writing support and lots of wider support within both the school and the institution as well. And common assessment methods include essays, reports, presentations, and of course your final dissertation project as well. Students of the MSc Creative Industries Cultural Policy go on to a wide range of careers within the media and cultural industries. So some examples there, such as broadcast media, journalism, advertising, management consultancy, publishing, PR. Some students go on to take up roles within the cultural industries, or sometimes creative jobs with outside of the cultural industries. We also have many students who carry on to take up PhD study, for example, and academic careers, and we can nurture both of those kind of career aspirations. In terms of how to apply, please do visit our programme webpage, linked below, and we have up-to-date information there around some of the entry requirements, the scholarship information, and our online application form. And please do feel free to get in touch with me if you've got questions about the programme, if you want to know more. I can obviously tell you a lot more about those individual modules and exactly what's included in them. And there is a little bit more information about that online, but I would welcome the opportunity to speak with anyone who is interested in taking up the master's programme and joining us here at Glasgow. So please do get in touch. And you can also follow us on social media and get up-to-date information in that way. So as you can see, we're on lots of different platforms. So please do get in touch with us. And I very much hope that we'll be welcoming you in September. Thank you so much for listening.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our introduction to creative industries and cultural policy. I am joined by Dr. Katherine Champion here on screen. If you've got any questions for her about the programme, please post them in the chat. I can see you've got some people joining us from all around the world, including Nigeria, so hello to you. Katherine, whilst we're waiting for some questions to come in, I wonder if we could maybe talk about what it's like for students on the programme. And I think you've mentioned some field trips for the current cohort. Can you tell us about what you're doing and when and where?
Yeah, thanks, Sia, and welcome everyone who's joined the conversation today. We're really delighted that you're considering the programme, and please do, drop any questions that you have in for us. In terms of some of the exciting things coming up, as I mentioned in the presentation, we're really keen, although this is very much an academic focused degree programme, we do situate that within the contemporary experience of what it's like to work in the cultural sector, and we get lots of guest lecturers coming to contribute to the programme, because nothing can really replace that sort of intimate knowledge of particular sectors. So you mentioned the field trips there. I'm taking students in a few weeks on one of the module programmes, so that's cultural, one of the module options, that's cultural cities and creative regions, and we've been exploring some of the cultural regeneration going on globally in different cities, but we're taking a deep dive into Glasgow, because obviously that is a city which has been the recipient of lots of different sorts of interventions, so it's a really ideal place to explore that. So we're taking a tour of an events venue and charity called SWG3, which is down near the Clyde, where there's been a lot of waterfront development, and they have very high profile a very high profile music venue with international acts coming from all over the world, but they also have a charitable dimension to that, and they have lots of graffiti artists that work there. So we're taking a tour of the mural work that they do with young people and exploring some of their sustainability initiatives. We also have another visit on our cultural institutions module, which is happening at the same time, where we will take the class to the Glasgow Women's Library, which is a long-standing library and archive, and they have amazing kind of exhibitions, collections, archival work. There's the potential there for students to engage and potentially develop dissertations that are kind of situated in some of the archives there. So really rich opportunities, I think, to sort of engage with what's going on in the city, which allows us to take things out of the classroom, I guess, and explore those things in the real world. So it's always something that students particularly enjoy. So we're very excited about that.
Brilliant. Oh, and if you check in the chat, everyone, we've got some links to those 2 locations there for you to check out. So you can get a potential taster of what you might be visiting if you join us next year. We've got a question in the chat. Hello, Catherine. I actually studied mechanical engineering here in Nigeria. I plan to transition into the international business SME course. Will this be possible as I don't have a background in business? But do you need a background in business for this program, Catherine?
No, absolutely not. And I think one of the things that we find is that the program is very interdisciplinary. The study of cultural industries in general is very interdisciplinary. We draw on theoretical concepts and research traditions from lots of different areas. So we find that actually what is most important is a kind of interest in the sector and excitement to learn. And we'll provide the building blocks for you to do that. In terms of the sort of business dimension, obviously that is a thread that we have running through the programme with some of our core and options courses coming from the Adam Smith Business School, which is obviously very highly regarded and recognised globally. So we know that that's very popular for students as well. So those courses will be things around managing innovation and creativity, project management. And I think, you know, that's where you can see where there might be quite strong transferable skills from perhaps the experience that you've had before. If you're not sure whether your past experience fully meets what we're looking for in terms of students taking up the programme, we'd also, you know, just welcome you getting in touch directly and happy to kind of have a chat about the things that you're interested in and what you hope to get out of the programme. And then we can give you advice as to what might best suit you in terms of what we have on offer here. I think one of the things that you can see also, Robinson, from the programme is that we have there is a real opportunity to kind of tailor make it to your particular interests in terms of drawing those options from different areas, you know, whether it's from law, whether it's from the options that we have within the School of Cultural and Creative Arts, or from the business school. So there is that chance to kind of build something that's most appropriate to you. But as I say, absolutely up for having a chat and a conversation if you're not sure exactly where your experience fits.
Brilliant. Hope that answers your question, Robinson. We've got time for a couple more questions. So if any of you have anything else that you'd like to ask Catherine whilst she's here on screen, please do drop them into the chat. I personally have a question, Catherine.
Oh, go ahead.
Yep. You mentioned guest speakers. I wondered if you could maybe tell us if there's anyone particularly interesting or exciting that you've had this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment, we have we have various contributions on some of the different modules. So within the core module around creative lives, which explores some of the creative labour experiences, we have expertise coming from the Musicians Union. We also have from Glasgow Life, which is the body which represents culture and sport within Glasgow. So on our Cultural Cities module, we have a contribution from one of our colleagues there who has a specialist interest in Glasgow as a UNESCO City of Music. So we're really excited to hear from her. There's a lot of policy change going on at the moment with a new strategy for the city. So she's going to be talking to that as well. So there's just some of the recent ones, but obviously throughout the whole year, those guest lectures are threaded through that as well.
Brilliant, thank you. I can see we've got some questions about scholarships in the chat. I believe we have a scholarships database here at Glasgow, and if one of my wonderful YouTube moderators could drop a link in the chat for you, that would be fantastic. There we go, right on cue. Catherine, one final question from me. It sounds like this coming year is going to be perhaps a really exciting time to be studying on the programme with the various changes and things you've mentioned. If viewers are really interested, want to learn more, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as I say, I'm absolutely more than happy to have direct conversations. So I can see that my email address is there in the chats, and it was at the end of the presentation, but you'll also find me easily online. So welcome to have those kind of direct conversations, arrange chats or answer any questions via email. We also have a program webpage as well. So that has up-to-date information about some of those different options and the structure of the program. So, you know, go and take a look at things. If you've got further questions, then do follow up there. That also holds contact information. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, we're active on different social media platforms as well. So just keep an eye out, and you will find relevant things being posted from those platforms. But absolutely would welcome any direct questions that you have, or just the opportunity to kind of chat over whether you think that this is the most appropriate program for what you're trying to get out in terms of your future career or sort of personal development.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Katherine. So I think we're kind of at time, so all I can say is thank you to Katherine and everyone for joining us. I think in the not too distant future, we'll potentially have a live Q&A with Katherine and some of the current students. So if you all keep an eye out for that, and we look forward to seeing you then. So thank you all so much for joining, and thank you, Katherine.